громадяни України. Сьогодні вранці президент Путін оголосив проведення спеціальної військової операції на Донбасі. Росія здійснила удари по нашій військовій інфраструктурі.
Let's look 8 years ahead. 2030. The history of the new Ukraine is studied all over the globe. Why? Because Ukraine became the most digital and convenient country in the world. Scripts have replaced bureaucrats. 500,000 former public servants are successfully integrated in the new economy. No more red tape, but paperless. No more banknotes, but cashless. Yes, we became the first country to abandon paper money. Ukraine now has the best tax system for the IT industry and the most affordable e-residency. Thanks to Ukrainian engineers and programmers, the R&D centers of the world's top technology companies operate successfully, and Ukraine ranks first in the world by the number of startups per capita. Ukrainian courts are guided by artificial intelligence, and all notarial acts take place online. Ukrainian customs is fully automatic and the fastest in the world. Customs clearance and car registration can now be done in 3 clicks from your smartphone. Because of war and internal migration, we have built the most flexible and modern digital education. Brave military and civilians get quality treatment with modern remote monitoring and e-health systems. Ukraine also has the most effective cyber defense in the world. After the horrors of 2022, Ukraine focused on security systems. Now every production facility has its air defense system, and the sleep of Ukrainians is protected by an ultra-modern Iron Dome. The Ukrainian government is digital, more like an IT company in terms of the efficiency of implementing decisions, and one can register a land plot, start construction, open a business or get a license, and register a car or real estate from a smartphone, automatically, in 1 click. Ukraine is the freest and digital. This is all because international partners and the world's leading technology companies supported the Digital for Freedom initiative and united to help Ukraine recover through digitalization, building a new Ukraine together, free and the fastest, brave and digital.
All right, Shalom. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Racha, Wadash. I want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, because those are the men that I learned this truth from through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai. Yahweh is the true name of the God of Israel. Yahushai is who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, but his one and only true name is Yahushai. And pretty much that's a simulation video of what they plan to do with Ukraine, but not just Ukraine, you know, the whole entire planet Earth. All right, because the goal of this new world order is to try and microchip the entire world population, which there's over like 9 billion, you know, people, maybe 8+ billion people in the planet Earth. All right, but we know, pursuing the Bible prophecy, pursuing the Revelation 20:4. The elect of the nation of Israel, which Lord willing, I hope to be a part of that, which are the believers, all right, that believe, that have the testimony, that have the faith of Yahushai to understand these prophecies and to fear the Lord. All right, the elect of the nation of Israel will not bow down to no new world order, and they will not take no RFID chip implant, which is the MOTB, as you see on the screen. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to get into the lesson. But like I said, this so-called 2030 agenda, it's not just for Ukraine, it's for the whole world, you know, all these countries. Because all these countries, they're all controlled, all right? They all have central banks in it for the most part. And the Rothschilds, all right, the banking families, which are Edomites, so-called white people, on down, you know, the different tribes of Edom, they're the ones that's in power, all right, beginning with the Rothschilds. So without further ado, let's get into it. 2 Corinthians 2:11, it says, "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us." Now, this word Satan is talking about a Satan like man, all right? And who is Satan's physical counterpart on the planet Earth? The so-called white man in Ceylon, beginning with the central bankers on down, beginning with the Rothschilds on down. It says, should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. When you go into this word devices, right,
Strong's G 3540, Naima.
It says a mental perception, thought, and evil purpose, that which thinks the mind, thoughts, or purposes. So what is the evil purpose that they have for the entire world population? You know, what's in their mind when they come together, you know, for the World Economic Forum, the Bilderberg meetings, these different meetings that they have that involves all these countries. You know, what is their mindset? You know, what are they really trying to accomplish or get done? What is their mission? Their mission is this, what you see on the screen. All right. The so-called UN agenda, the United Nations agenda, which began in 2021, which it always has been in effect, you know, but they're really trying to get it done between 2021 and 2030. All right. So this is a part of their plan: a one world government, a one world cashless currency, a one world central bank, a one world military. I mean, you see what's going on, but the main thing that we're going to focus on right down here, it says microchip society for purchasing, travel, tracking, and controlling. That's biblical prophecy. All right. This is what John the Revelator seen in his vision at the island of Patmos. He saw people being microchipped, and he had to describe things according to the vocabulary that he had at his time, which is why you have to go into the word MARK and Revelation 13 and 16. That's why you have to go into the Strong's lexicon, all right, to get the proper understanding of what John is trying to describe to the believers in Yahushua, all right, that he saw people being microchipped. This is what he seen, all right. Now let's go back to the definition. So the word there is Naima, right? So again, it says an evil purpose, right? So what's the evil purpose? Is this right here, but let's go into this word conspiracy. The word conspiracy, because people like to throw this term around a lot, you know, conspiracy theory. Oh, that's a conspiracy, right? They say it as if, you know, the word conspiracy, it means something fictional. But when we actually go into the word on online etymology dictionary, it says a plotting of evil. This is a plotting of evil. They're deceiving the whole world into accepting a cashless digital society that they have full control over. And not just the society itself, the people, through the technology, through the RFID chip implant, which is, you know, the MOTB, according to the scriptures, right? It says a plotting of evil. This is the evil that they have, to stage false flag attacks, all right, to have a global economic collapse, to have the downfall of societies worldwide. But the focal point of prophecy is Babylon the Great, which is America. But this is going to take place worldwide because this UN agenda involves all countries. All countries have central banks. All right, meaning all these countries that have central banks, they can be controlled, they could be manipulated, they could be brought with a price. So the Rothschilds, the Baker families, they control all these countries through what? Money, through the monetary systems that they control, whether it be a central bank or a Federal Reserve. All right, they control all these countries. They control the politicians, the presidents, the prime ministers, the kings, queens, you know, whoever's in power in these islands. And whoever is not down for the UN agenda, what happens to them? They get assassinated or they're just put to death, bottom line. So this is a conspiracy. The word conspiracy, it just means a plotting of evil, unlawful design. It's unlawful because part of this UN agenda, part of this 2030 agenda is that what? The so-called white man, he's trying to imitate the Most High, all right, and the angels and the heavens through his technology. And he's trying to act that out on a planet Earth through his technology. A plotting of evil, unlawful design, a combination of persons for an evil purpose, which links up with what? The word devices, all right? It says an evil purpose. So this is the evil purpose that they have for the whole entire planet Earth, to microchip the entire world population and to make us everlasting slaves. This is what they want, all right? But they're not going to fully be able to accomplish their New World Order agenda, according to the scriptures, because who's going to stop them in their tracks? Yahawashi, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, when he comes back by the way of the so-called UFOs, whether you want to believe it or not. All right? So let's jump back. 2 Corinthians 2:11, it says, least Satan, right? It's talking about a Satan-like man, Satan's physical counterpart on the planet Earth. All right? The nation pursuing the Malachi 1:4, that's known as the border of wickedness, which is who? The nation of Edom, beginning with the central banking families on down to your average redneck, European Edomites in society. So it says, least Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. We're not ignorant to his agendas. We know what your agendas are according to the Bible, through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. Now, the fearful thing is that we hope and pray that we endure unto the end. All right, through Yahushua, like how the scriptures say, they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb. The him talk about Esau and his agendas, his New World Order agenda. All right, his MOTB, overcoming him through faith. Why? Because the elect of the nation of Israel, you can't deceive the elect, which, Lord willing, I hope and pray that I'm a part of that. You can't deceive us, all right? No matter what you do, no matter, how you try to F up our livelihoods, strip the little freedom that we have, it's in us to always have the faith and testimony of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. And like the scriptures say, in St. John the 10th chapter, verses 27 through 30, the scriptures say that what? No man, period, can pluck them out of the Heavenly Father's hand, because the Heavenly Father have given the elect to Yahushua to always serve and obey him, and to follow him whithersoever he goeth throughout all the generations. All right? So you can't deceive us. We're fully aware of your agendas, and that's why through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, we warn our people of the things to come, why these current events are happening according to the Bible, according to the biblical prophecies recorded in the scriptures. Whether our people take heed or not is only meant for the elect. Romans 11:7. All right? So now let's get into this. This is Revelation 13:15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, which the image of the beast in this specific lifetime is what? His New World Order. All right, the beast represents NATO and the EU. It says that the image of the beast, right? The image of the beast is talking about the New World Order, the New World Order agenda, which is being set up right before our eyes, which involves what? A cashless digital society. And they're pushing this thing as a thing of convenience, along with the technology, the MOTB. They're pushing this thing as a thing of convenience. They're deceiving the world into accepting this, right? It says that the image of the beast should both speak, and it's speaking right now. Prophecy is speaking, whether you're taking heed to it or not, whether you're paying attention to the news or the alternative media or what the prophets are saying through the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, is speaking, all right? It's speaking very loud. It says, and the cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. That's why you have things like Project Megiddo, Rex 84, the King Alpha Plan, which the King Alpha Plan is a part of Rex 84, which involves what? The extermination or the persecution of you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. Why? Because we are the true Israelites according to the Bible. And persecution is going to begin at the house of Yahweh Yahushua. All right, because we are a threat to Esau's New World Order. All right, these central bankers, which are descendants of Esau Edom, the true prophets of the Lord, which are first found here, first and foremost, at Great Millstone, beginning with the apostles, the elders, and the young brothers like myself. All right, we are the prophets of the Lord, as well as followers that teach the same exact doctrine that we teach through Yahweh and Yahushua. We are going to be persecuted. All right, brothers is having dreams, they having visions. This is what's recorded in the scriptures. All right, they're going to accuse us of treason, just like how they accused John the Revelator, which sent him to the island of Patmos in the first place. The same thing is going to apply now. What happened to John the Revelator was a prelude of what's to come. All right, and we are warning our people first and foremost, beginning with the apostles and the elders that have more experience than we have all right, as young brothers and newcomers coming into the truth, they give us the warning, you know, to pretty much tell us through faith, all right, that what? You have to be fully persuaded. You have to know what you are involved in, what comes with serving the Lord. What comes with serving the Lord is persecution and possibly death, all right? So you have to always think about these type of things, because it could happen, all right? It will happen for some believers, you know, but don't be afraid. Revelation 2:10. Why? Because a crown of righteousness is waiting for you. Everlasting rulership. I mean, it's so much rewards and blessings that Yahushua is coming with. But you got to be fully persuaded, you know, to believe that these things can happen for you. Continuing on. Yep. So it says, and the he's talk about who? Esau, Edom, right? Pursuing the 2nd Ezra 6 and 9, Esau, Edom is ruling in these last days, which are who? The so-called white men in Zebulon, beginning with the central banking families on down. It says, and he calls of all. So this is a worldwide thing that's going to take place throughout all countries. He calls of all, meaning what? It's mandatory, right? This is going to be a mandatory law that's going to take place throughout all countries. And he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond. So every type of man of every status in society, all right, we are all going to be tested. And this is why the scriptures describe it as what? The hour of temptation. What's being tempted? Why is it the hour of temptation? Because your flesh is going to be tempted to want to participate in society, to want to buy and sell. You might be hungry, you know, you might be dehydrated. Your flesh is going to be tempted. But the elect of the nation of Israel that have the faith and testimony of Yahushua, no matter what type of situation we're going through at that point of time, all right, Yahushua is going to deliver us out of our trials and tribulations, all right, out of our troubles. And we believe that through faith, you know. We can't tell you how he going to do it, but we know he's going to do it because it's written. It's already written, all right, that we're going to overcome. So we just got to let it play out. It says, free and bond to receive a MARK. Now we go into this word MARK. In Revelation 13:16, the word there is charagma, right? And what is it going to say? It's going to say in the printed mark. Now, when you look at the procedure of the RFID chip implant, which is the MOTB, that's how the procedure is done. It's an imprinted mark, meaning what? It goes underneath your skin. It goes underneath your flesh. It's an incision. It's a subdermal implant, right? So now when you take it a step further, and you go into the root word of charagma, right? The word there is karax, and it's going to say what? A pale steak or palicide. What is this referring to? The syringe that's used to inject the RFID chip implant, making it what? An imprintable mark or an incision or a subdermal implant, right? Now, the final root word of karax, the word there is Strong's G1125, which is going to piece everything together. And the word there is what? Grapho, which means what? To form letters on a tablet, parchment, paper, or other material. In other words, what? Storing information as data on the RFID chip implant. All right? Because what's going to be on this chip? Yes, it is a tracking device. You know, we all know that. Radio frequency identification, right? Identification. But also, you can store data on the RFID or NFC chip implant. All right, and what's going to be on there? The different ways to identify yourself, you know, your medical records, the one world currency that all countries is going to agree upon under the Rothschild rule, that's going to be on the chip as well. All right, the one world currency. That's why you're not going to be able to buy or sell. You're going to have to get this chip in order to buy or sell. That's why the scriptures describe it as the hour of temptation. All right, because not everybody's going to be down to get this at first. See, the elect is going to reject it 100%, but you're going to have other people in society that's going to be tempted. All right, so now let's jump back. It says to receive an MARK. So we know that this word talk about what? The RFID chip implant in their right hand or in their foreheads. Now, what's also being pushed? What also is the MOTB? The brain chip implants. You got Neuralink pushing that. You got Elon Musk pushing that. And they're pushing this thing as a miracle. Oh, you can walk again. Oh, you paralyzed, you know, from the torso down. All right, from the neck down. Oh, okay. You in the wheelchair for the rest of your life? Oh, okay. You know, get a brain chip implant. You know, you'll be able to communicate with people. So they're pushing this thing as a miracle. All right. So it says in their foreheads. It says, and that no man, this is a worldwide event, because it said that what? He calls of all. It says, and that no man might buy or sell. So the one world currency is going to be on this chip. Now, how do I know that? Because it says this, and I believe this through faith. The elect believe this through faith. And that no man might buy or sell, save he, meaning what? Unless he, it says that had the MARK. Talking about what? The RFID chip implant. So the one world currency is going to be on this chip. That's why you're not going to be able to buy or sell. All right, this is what's in the scriptures, that the RFID chip implant, it can store data. All right, all the different ways to identify yourself, everything that you might use in society, you know, going to work, getting direct deposit, you know, paying for things. Soon everything that you use to participate in society is going to be stored as data on this chip. Even if it's a Metro card, everything is going to be on this chip, whether you want to believe it or not. That's why, you know, concerning here in New York, these bus systems, these train systems, now they have an Omni system. Now they said with the Omni system, that was supposed to be fully done in 2023, but it happened faster than normal. Excuse me. All right. So even though they have a 2030 agenda, things can happen faster than that. You got to remember, things don't operate on the so-called white man's time. Things operate on the Heavenly Father's time. Yahweh, the God of Israel. He's in control of all the current events that's happening in the world and throughout the universe. All right. Things happen when he allow it to happen. So it says that had the MARK, talk about the chip, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that have understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 603, which in the Greek is chi psi stigma. 660 in the word six. In the word six, it means to cut, which links up with what? The procedure of the RFID. All right. Now, also, I forgot to mention, you had this insider before he was killed. His name is Aaron Russo, which Apostle Gabar, he goes into him a lot. But, you know, I also knew about Aaron Russo, you know, before the truth, when I was like 10 or 11 years old, you know. It says, because this interview, it could be found on YouTube, you know. So I'm going to just read the gist of it. It's an hour and 35 minutes long. You know, you can check it on YouTube. I'm going to read it. It says, in a historic final interview, filmmaker and music promoter Aaron Russo goes in depth on the insider knowledge given to him by a member of the Rockefeller family. Russo was told prior to 9/11 of plans to stage terror attacks, invade foreign nations, and kickstart a high-tech police state, aka martial law, the FEMA camps, the quarantine stations, so forth and so on, right? And kickstart high-tech police state control grid that would track the population's every move with implantable RFID microchips. Come on, man. This is on YouTube. This is all over. This is the biggest conspiracy ever. All right? Ain't no running from this. So now let's go back to the scriptures. Now, if you dumb enough to receive this chip after all these warning videos that has been going out, you're just a fool. All right? You're blinded. This is what's going to happen to you. Even if you get the chip and you somehow take it out of your skin, you still got to get the judgment written, which is destruction, thermonuclear destruction. Here's the proof. Revelation 14:9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man, this is worldwide, any man, period, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his MARK in his forehead or in his hand. You get it in your left or your right hand, you're going to be destroyed, period. Even if you get it and take it out, you already got it. You received it. You bow down to the beast. Why are you trying to take it out? Even if you take it out, you still going to get the judgment written, which is destruction. All right? And like I said, you know, if I haven't said it, salvation is only for the elect of the nation of Israel. It's only for the Israelites. The so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native American Indian seed line, all right, that's been slated before the world began to receive salvation. Salvation is only for Israel. Isaiah 45:17, Revelation 7. Continuing on, it says, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. The word indignation, it means righteous anger. Why is the God of Israel the one and only true and living God? All right. Why is he justified, or what makes him righteous in destroying people that take this chip? Because you was warned by the prophets for decades. Even up until right now, you was warned not to do this. Even by people that's not even classified as believers according to the scriptures, even they got the type of understanding to understand what the MOTB is, you know, according to the scriptures, according to end time prophecy. So the Most High, first beginning with the prophets, Abba Bivens, Elder Yaquab, High Priest Ariel, King Mashar, the apostles of Great Millstone, the elders, you know, the young brothers like myself, all right, and just the believers, you know, we've been warning you through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai about Bible prophecy. All right, now through Yahweh Shai, you know, he has opened up our mind to warn our people and the world of this devil's agendas. So if you stupid enough to get this chip after you've been warned, all right, you're blinded, you know, you're dumb. You're going to be destroyed. It says mixture into the cup of his indignation. Indignation meaning righteous anger. The Most High is righteous in everything that he does. Even if you don't understand it, it's always a deeper meaning to it. There's always a righteous purpose for it. It says, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone, the thermonuclear missiles, whether you want to believe, you know, that or not. That's in the Bible. It says, in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, which the Lamb is Yahweh Shai, and the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, a specific period of time. Because Babylon the Great, which is America, it will be destroyed, and it is prophesied in the Bible to happen, which will become current event soon. But the chip has to be mandatory first. Before that happens, it says, continuing on, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast in his image, his new world order, and whosoever receiveth the MARK of his name. It says, here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of the Most High and the faith of Yahweh Shai. You know, so amen. I just wanted to do that video. Lord willing, you was edified through the spirit. Shalom.